We're coming up on the holiday season of 2020, and this is a good time to be thinking about executive clemency. In fact, this time only comes about every 4 years. Why? Because if you are in the federal system, there is only one mechanism through which a person can get a commutation of sentence. Now, in a couple of days, it'll be Thanksgiving, and we'll probably see that ceremonial pardoning of a turkey. But right now, with this president, President Trump, there's a good possibility that many more acts of executive clemency will be taking place. Why? Well, we know that his political career, at least for the foreseeable future, is coming to an end. That means he's not running for office again. And we know that there's so much controversy that's around this presidency that there is a very good chance he will be exercising his right as the president. The Constitution gives him this right as the president to issue grants of clemency, whether it's a commutation, whether it's a pardon, whether it's an amnesty. Now, I know a lot of people don't really understand these different concepts, so I wanted to just make this very simple video to help you understand how a pardon, a commutation works. Amnesty is really not that appropriate right now. But if you understand how these acts of executive clemency work, you can start making a decision on whether you want to advance your candidacy for executive clemency. Here's the fact. If you don't advance a petition, you're not even going to be considered. But I can give you from a level of experience, it makes all the sense in the world to push forward your commutation right now, not only for this term, but also you need to be sowing seeds for the years ahead. So let me tell you a backstory on why I'm very passionate about people understanding executive clemency. Those of you who don't know my story, of course, you can find it all through our website at Prison Professors or on our YouTube channel or iTunes channel. But here's the very snippet of it. I made some really bad decisions in the mid-1980s. I was arrested when I was 23 years old, and a federal judge sentenced me to serve a 45-year prison sentence. So serving a 45-year prison sentence is a bit overwhelming. I didn't really understand what it would mean, but I was fortunate to start turning the page and start crafting a very deliberate strategy to prepare myself to get through it. And as those years turned into decades, I accumulated a string of accomplishments. But some of you may remember that in 1992, we went from, during my transition, we went from President Reagan to President George Bush, the first George Bush. He only ran one term. Then we had President Clinton, who ran 2 terms. Then we had President Bush, the second Bush, 43, for 2 terms. Then we had President Obama for 2 terms. And now we have President Trump. So I was incarcerated during Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton 1, Clinton 2, Bush 1, Bush 2, and then I got out during Obama 2. I got out in 2013. A lot of experience. Well, in 1996, yes, the 1996 election, I had about 9 years in prison. By that time, I'd already had an undergraduate degree and a master's degree. I'd published books. I'd had a pretty successful journey in prison, but I still had decades to serve because my sentence was so long. So I did not have a petition in for a commutation of sentence. But at the end of President Clinton's term, there were this group that they were known as Friends of Bill, FOB. And he issued blanket executive clemency, grants of executive clemency to more than, as I recall, it was like more than 200 people. And there were even a couple of people in the prison where I was held that had their sentences commuted. But I didn't have a petition in. And it was foolish of me not to have a petition in because I'd already served a relatively lengthy period of time, 9 years in prison. I didn't have a history of violence. The country had changed during the 9 years that I had served, and I was probably a pretty good candidate, but I didn't have a petition in. And as a result, when the president started granting the Friends of Bill people clemency, he also granted hundreds of people, or certainly more than 100 people, who were just randomly in federal prison. Well, I suspect that President Trump, and this is just speculation, I have no way of knowing, but I do know this, you're in a better position now than at any other time to pursue a pathway to executive clemency. This president doesn't have anything to lose. And you know that he is not somebody who's gone through the traditional routes of clemency. So if you haven't been thinking about putting forward a petition for executive clemency, this is the time to do it. So at the risk of making a video that is way too long, I'm going to break this video right here just so that you have the backstory. And if you click the next video, it's going to reveal a little bit more about the process of going through executive clemency. And I'll even give you links in the show notes below to the forms where you can get it. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to Prison Professor's YouTube channel or our iTunes channel, and also visit our website at prisonprofessors.com, where you can get an abundance of free information that will help you make better decisions. Oh, you can like us on Facebook as well. We're doing the best that we can to get as much information out there to help as many people as possible, but we just would love it if you were a part of our community. We, of course, have a team of formerly incarcerated people that know this system extremely well, and we can help you work to navigate a strategy that will work for you and your family. I am Michael Santos with Prison Professors, and I want to thank you for being a part of our community.